What is going on, mi gente? This is your boy, the bad hombre from 901 in Fresno, coming at you from South Memphis, over here to tell you what you might not want to hear, but what you need to know. So, did you all see that 60 Minutes interview last week with President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador? Very interesting. What they showed was about 14 minutes long, and with a lot of the interjections from the interviewer that were completely resonant with the introductions, that is, were completely resonant with the canards that are predominant about U.S.-Mexico relations and dynamics that are being spread throughout the media. I'll let you go watch it. I'll have the links to that and the complete 1 hour interview that the president had taken through hidden camera from Palacio Nacional, the National Palace in Mexico City. Well, certain Republican voices jumped on the interview as it was redacted and delivered by 60 Minutes. And here's the mischaracterization among many that I want to highlight. They said that the president of Mexico was blackmailing Washington, blackmailing Joe Biden on immigration. Says, if you don't do what we want, we're just going to let people pass through. It's already come to light the fact that most people who are coming through the southern border from Mexico into the United States are not Mexican. It's already being known, because you can't hide the facts, especially when you affect bread and butter issues of the United States, that the Mexican peso is very strong. It's already known to a lot of people that Mexico is the number one trade partner of the United States. It is also known that many Americans are choosing to live in Mexico. So that flies in the face of a bunch of other, is Mexico safe, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so some people are starting to find out. But what they're also starting to come to realize is that immigration is a U.S. origin problem, and it's not what for Mexico to solve. So, when the president of Mexico gives conditions for the further assistance on immigration, further control of immigration from countries to their south, coming towards the United States, namely ending the blockade in Cuba, namely the blockade in Venezuela and the sanctions of Venezuela, mainly the interference and the disinvestment in Honduras and Haiti, for example. All countries who send millions of people to the United States, or tens of thousands of them by the month, through these caravans and waiting at the border. Well, it's because of U.S. policies. So, no, it's the president of Mexico is not trying to blackmail the United States into adopting leftist positions. Okay. Because the president of Mexico is acting on ideological grounds, motivated by ideology. No. The president of Mexico is trying to solve problems that the U.S. is exacerbating through their policies. The U.S.'s blockades and coups and sanctions make life so miserable to the benefit of special interests in the United States, mind you, mostly big ag, oil, petroleum refining, banking, all right, and Wall Street speculation. The United States is making life so miserable with these policies in these countries that they force folks, force workers, force laborers to leave these countries because, yeah, it's like the United States did in the mid-90s with NAFTA. And, well, Mexico had a big hand in that, admittedly, by upending the latifundio, no, what is it? The Ejido program. Too long to explain. But that was when a lot of people crossed the border en masse from Mexico to places like Memphis, to Virginia, Mississippi, blah, blah, Carolinas, back in the mid-90s. Anyhow. So, yeah, U.S. policies do influence, and in fact, they are generating migration. Just like our wars in Syria generate migration to Europe. Syrians don't leave this wonderful country just because, right? No, they go because we upend them for the benefit of special interests in the United States. Yep. And the United States is doing it in certain countries. The U.S. would do it in Mexico, but it would be very painful to do so now that Mexico is the biggest trading partner of the United States. And it would impact other businesses that are not as well connected as big ag, big oil, mining. Walmart would have something to say that. AutoZone would have something to say about that. Numerous banks. Chase Bank would have something to say about that. Banks that, organizations that have assets in Mexico that would be impeded by shenanigans. Ford, GM would have something to say about that, for sure. So, yeah. And so basically, why would Mexico do anything to stem the flow of people who are passing through for electoral purposes if the policies that generate these migrants in the first place are still enacted, right? Bad policy. So there you have it. The president of Mexico was not trying to blackmail Washington, was not trying to blackmail Biden. He was trying to convince Biden to buck the people who brought him to that office and enact policies to actually solve immigration so as to make it worth Mexico's while to cooperate on migration. This is your boyfriend, Tinoco, again, telling you what you need to hear, not necessarily what you want to hear, and what you need to know. Bye.